It's your boy Lifestyle. We about to react to Women Share Their Biggest Secrets, Circle of Secrets by Jubilee. Let's get straight into it.
All the time I feel guilty, and I'm like, man, you should be with someone else. It's just not.
In partnership with unlikely collaborators, with a perception box question. For communities with common experience and aim to broaden self acceptance and self understanding. This group of women was all asked, have you carried a secret about yourself that you dreaded other people knowing?
I'm sleeping with my best friend's ex.
Sheesh. Holy.
You can step forward on three. One, two, three.
I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, she looked like the type. Purple hair, no morals, no regrets. But live your best life, shawty. Lock in with yourself.
I don't really have anything else to share to it,
Why do you want to share it?
because I want to tell her and I just don't know how, so I figured.
Well, maybe you should start by saying, hey, best friend, what's up with your ex? You know, you're not together right now, so I guess that makes it okay, right? Not that our friendship matters or anything.
Why do you want to share it?
Because I want to tell her and I just don't know how, so I figured might as well get in a video and show her. Sorry, Haley.
Wow. That's crazy. It's quite normal. It happens. It happens, as you see. Hey, most women do things in close proximity. So if they meet through a friend, associate, or an associate, that's how they do it. So best friend X is not crazy because y'all probably spent time together. You got some type of feeling or see how your friend get treated. So you trying to experience that too, but you trying to experience what comes with it, which is his peace. Come on now. Or she, whatever you into.
So my last ex-boyfriend left me for another girl in my friend group, and then my current boyfriend right now was one of his friends. Talking things out like is the best form of anything.
I
True.
helped a loved one with a credit card fraud.
Hey, yo.
So, I was on Tinder one day, and I was just scrolling
So it's Tinder, boy.
through, and I see this guy. We started talking, and he was just kind of joking around. I was like, what do you do for a living? He was like, I rob banks. I was like, cool. Do you need, like, an assistant? And he was like, yeah. And I met up with him, and he was for real. He was like, hey, help me, and we'll make, like, 5K a day, blah, blah, blah. I was, like, sick with it. I'm trying to quit my job. I hated that.
She said, I'm trying to quit my job. Nah, women are delusional, thinking that this is gonna work out.
Turns out he was a meth smoker, and I was like, cool, you know, do your thing, whatever. And I ended
This
up
getting worse, progressively worse.
getting secondhand high off of it, and I didn't didn't realize that that's what was going on. I was just like, oh, this guy's cool, you know, he's a rapper and he got a Tesla. Oddly enough, the way that I got out of it was he ghosted me, and his name is Donovan. If you
Hey, yo.
ever see him, tell him I said I better not catch him in the street.
Girl, you go.
Man, it was your decision to mess with this man after all of you thought, like, bro, you thought this was gonna be a good idea.
To avoid any girls going through what I went through, I was stupid enough to do it, you know.
Okay, okay, accountability. All right, she locked in with herself. I'm proud of you.
It's a shame. No one should go through that.
Yeah, you by yourself. You by yourself, Shawty.
I don't feel like I'm going to go to heaven when I die.
What kind of question? Holy.
I'm just nervous. Oh no, I feel like I'm about to start crying. I was in a church for like 4 years, and I don't know. I felt like I was there, and I found a family, but it just felt like I was there for people. When I decided to leave, that was like the first thing that reminded me was that once I left the church, I left God, and when I leave God, that means I'm going to hell. And part of me kind of believes them. Like, I don't deserve a spot in heaven because I don't do anything to build my place there, if that makes sense. Sorry.
That's why I'm more spiritual than I am religious. If you know, you know. Lock in with yourself.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey, girl.
I'm sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry for. We're here with you.
There's
But
healing
helping
in
was
tears.
thinking and knowing that there is something out there. There is a God. There is a heaven, or whatever you want to believe in. But nobody will tell you what it is. But you're not alone. Thank you. Enough.
I'm in love with my best friend, but I don't want to risk losing our friendship.
All right. The author has decided not to claim the secret, but if you would like them to know that they're not alone, you may step forward on three. Okay? 1, 2, 3.
This happened. I had met my friend in 7th grade, and I fell in love with him. And since I was a girl and she was a girl, I didn't let her know, only to then get outed. My mom found out. My family found out. I remember walking past her and just not talking to her. I forgave her over time, but the funny thing is that she did end up dating another girl in college. So, so that's friendships for me. Yeah.
Damn.
I've been married for 6 years and I'm still a virgin.
Married for 6 years is crazy work. Interesting.
It's really embarrassing. I have been married to my husband for 6 years, and I have never had sex. I have a very skewed, a very skewed view on sex. A lot of sexual abuse. I never had a healthy view of sex. I never got the chance. And then, through a little bit of therapy, because I am Christian, this whole time, there's this big view of, this big lie of, you need to save yourself for marriage, And then, on your wedding night, that's it. And then, I got married. And on my wedding night, that didn't happen. And I was, so ashamed. And my family, God bless them, but they, made comments of, because I want my kid's name to be Gracie, when are we gonna see little Gracie around? And so I have a lot of pressure. And my husband, most amazing dude in the world. He's been so patient. And
6 years patient. I think it's time to let him experience you. But I mean, your body, your choice, of course. But hey, more kudos to you and your husband.
I feel guilty all the time. I feel guilty, and I'm like, man, he should be with someone else. Because I can't give him that. I hope I get there. Because I want...
If you think, for one, let me just, on a more negative side of things, you think your husband not getting anything, I promise you, you're smoking, ma'am. Okay, and I'm not, trying to throw your relationship under the bus or anything, but I promise you, your husband is getting something somewhere. You just don't know about it. Okay? Go through your trauma, go through your therapy, of course. Build yourself up to get to that point, of course. But lock in with yourself, man. It's been 6 years. And he had sex before. You said at the beginning, you didn't do nothing. You say you changed it from, you didn't say we, you say you.
I want to have kids
Tough.
so bad. Because it's like, how come everybody else gets to do this, but I can't?
It's not that you can't, ma'am. It's because you choose not to.
It's just not fair.
Life's not fair, ma'am. But hey, we live and we learn.
That's it.
Girl's a girl. Girl's a girl.
Sorry.
No,
Ugh,
it's okay.
gross.
Don't be sorry.
Can somebody get this woman a tissue?
Feeling honestly.
Sex is not love. Love is something completely different. And if
That is true. Sex is not love. Love is completely different.
you didn't prove that today, I don't know what will. So,
Damn.
I've been married for the past 6 years, and nobody in my family knows. I've never had sex with my partner. I don't want to cry. Our marriage is based on a friendship, and it's solely that.
True. Wow.
It means the world to you, right? My parents are gonna kill me.
Because they gonna see this video and think, what are you doing?
I decided to keep it a secret because it's easier to live.
It's easier to live with because nobody talking in your ear saying, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr."
Though people telling you what's right and what's wrong.
That's true.
Sex, you can have it with anybody, but love, you only find one. And if people understood that connections come with mind, come with feelings, sex wouldn't be viewed as such a necessary thing to make a connection with someone. And if you never conceive it, believe best now he loves you more than what sex would have brought him.
True. Wow. Yeah, you can hug her, girl. Go ahead. Go ahead, girl. Wow. God loves you.
I would say you guys changed my life.
We love you.
Just knowing I'm not alone.
Always remember you're never alone out here in this world. Somebody going through the same thing you're going through, if not more, worse, different levels, all that. I want to stay in a relationship because my partner said that was the reason she was going to come.
I once stayed in a relationship
Interesting.
because my partner said that I was the reason she wasn't going to kill herself.
That's crazy. Babe on her shirt.
When I was 14 and just starting high school, I was doing a lot of theater. Yeah, I had a little sparkling of a showmance. She disclosed that I was the only person keeping her from killing herself.
Sheesh.
And as a 14-year-old, like, you know, you don't
Like, what do you say to that?
you don't know really what to do in that situation when you're handling things so heavy that you've just never dealt with before. And I completely destroyed my relationship with my family. Like, I just risked it all for this person. I felt the obligation to protect them and to care for them and to be their, you know, safety vest. Yeah.
They were my first boyfriend. I was 14, they were 17. And
Hey, yo, that's a big gap. Well, I'm not high school, but still, like, that's crazy.
it was really hard because I felt that I was tied to them, you know? And being 14, I just thought, like, well, I have to stay with this person. I kind
He played you, ma'am. He did that because he didn't want to lose you.
I did the same thing, but I felt like I did it more out of pity. There was a saying that kind of like stuck with me for a long time, and it was the whole you can lead a camel to water, but you can't force it to drink.
you can only help someone so much. And then you have to walk away. You can't die because someone else is dying in front of you, you know?
Right.
So,
In
True.
middle school, I was bullied for being sexually assaulted, and rumors spread saying that I wanted it.
Hey, yo, what the? Hey, that goes to show kids is crazy. Like, that's a lot of crazy individuals in the world that do some crazy stuff like that. But what? Hey, yo. That's why it's FTK. Fuck them kids.
When I was a little girl, I became. Whew, this is harder than I thought. Whew.
Come on,
I
Sydney.
became entangled in a friendship that very shortly became very unhealthy quite fast. The whole relationship just ruined how I saw my body and just my interactions with people in general. When I got to middle school, I had a crush on this guy who was so cute. When you see somebody, you can see that they've shared a similar experience. I saw that in this boy, and he was like the first person who I like kind of confided to tell. I was like, oh my God, finally somebody who has this understanding. I feel like a breath of fresh air, like I can do this. And the next day, the whole school knew about what had happened to me in detail. And I was bullied really, really bad because the sexual assault happened by a woman, which was seen so differently of like she wanted it to happen because it wasn't a man, and my life just became ruined after that experience. And
Damn.
it was like that was like the dark doom that like started my life kind of falling apart. But that whole experience really traumatized me and affects me to this day, and it's something that I continue kind of to go through.
Sheesh. Hey, disclaimer: sexual assault is never okay, ever. All right. Don't tolerate it. If it ever happens to you, report it to your local authorities immediately, because it will affect you for the rest of your life. And that person does not deserve to walk freely doing that to someone. They deserve consequences. Lock in with yourself.
So, personally, I was physically abused by women, so I understand where you're coming from. I'm so sorry that, it became like this big old thing in your life where it's like you felt like you couldn't escape it.
Thank you.
When I was 20, I got an abortion without telling my parents.
Sheesh. Oh yeah.
So,
And
I'm
she
22
Asian.
now.
Her parents would have freaked out. You know what I'm saying? They would have took her life in GTA. Okay, so yeah, I can feel where she coming from without her even saying it. That's what she about to say. Watch.
I had an abortion with my ex-boyfriend at the time. So I'm no longer with that partner, and I'm not gonna lie, he did say that afterwards. After he got me pregnant, he mostly saw me as a friend than a girlfriend,
Hey
which is
yo.
like such a dog thing to say. I don't know. Like, if you're watching this, oh, sorry.
Yeah. Tell him, girl. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
thankful
all
to be
that.
living in California and to have access to the services, despite having gone through the experiences of being heckled outside the Planned Parenthood. And the day after my abortion, I ended up going to the ER. I had to do an ultrasound that was an internal ultrasound, and my technician told me that it would have been easier to keep the baby than to have gone through with all that I was going through, which was really not what I needed to hear in that moment.
That's crazy.
Regardless,
Like
I
what?
was able to get through it, and I
People have no sympathy nowadays, especially in positions of like that. Like what? Why would you tell her that?
was able to patch up my
It's
relationship
her choice. Her body, her choice.
with my family, and
I'm a
more than
feminist.
anything else, they were sad that they couldn't have been there for me, going through it all. I'm saying this now because I hope I can help someone else feel a little less alone, and that this is okay to go through. There's no shame in it.
Thank you guys for being here. So are all of you.
Yeah, breathe. Breathe.
My secret was I was molested by a close family member, and I cannot forgive him. My dad was very abusive to my mom and to us, and it was the night before New Year's. And
Bro, this stuff is crazy, bro. Like, it be the people closest to you, man. Especially as a woman, like, y'all gotta watch out for family members. Anybody they bring around, be in a room alone as a child, as a young adult, like, shit
and
crazy.
he had just gotten out of jail. It just didn't help the fact that we shared a room. So
Bro, why would they let them share a room? Are you crazy?
he had just gotten out of jail. It just didn't help the fact that we shared a room. So when he did what he did, it shattered my life entirely. It made me run
Shit
away
is
from my home
crazy.
several times because I was fearing every time he got out, released from jail, that he would do the same thing over and over again. And I feel so alone because I have half of my family blaming me for not saying anything. And I have another part of my family who are clueless and love him or just protect them. And it hurts me
the
to this
hell?
day knowing that I can't step into that house without being scared. I felt like I had to share this because if I didn't share it here, I would have never spoken up about it. I don't have the guts to talk to them in person because I don't want anything to happen to them while I'm there. And I know that's selfish, but I feel like I at least deserve that peace and that tranquility in my life, even if it's alone. Thank you.
That's crazy. That just gave me chills on my body because your own family, bro. That is crazy. I gotta breathe after that one. This world is crazy, bro. If y'all mess with the reaction, man, come check me out on Twitch, Lifestyle, Lfestyl. Join the Discord. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter. You have a good day /night.